I have two things in my hand here today that are inspiring me. The first is a classic. If you haven't read it, I really hope you do. It's called The Art of Possibility by Benjamin and Rosalind Zander. Benjamin was the conductor of the Boston Philharmonic. Rosalind is a kind of a modern-day sage who writes about mindfulness and all sorts of Eastern things. And they talk in this this book here, and I'll email this to you in my summary. There's this concept of the fact that we're all beautifully gifted but amazingly flawed. And something about the way that we live gets us to focus on that amazingly flawed thing with intensity. It kind of reminds me of White Wolf, Dark Wolf. And one of the things I love about this book is rule number 6, which says don't take yourself so seriously. But there's also a corollary to it. It says give yourself an A. I had a college class one time where it was a strange, bizarre, meandering path. I kept showing up because I didn't want to do the reading. And at the end, the professor said, there's no final. And right now you get to look into your soul and give yourself a grade. And whatever you give you, I'll give you. And I remember sitting there looking at him and looking at this piece of paper going, I didn't do any of this reading. But you know what? I gave myself an A. When I read that in this book about 15 years later, I was like, hey, I was ahead of my time, right? We're looking into the new year. We will not see each other again in this way until February. We take December and January off because it's just too darn hard to get out of bed that early in that time of the year around here, right? We need some time to breathe. But between now and then, we pass over a new year. And the new year is a time when we actually start to think about possibilities. I don't really care whether or not you make or keep New Year's resolutions, but I hope you don't let the passing of another year go without you asking yourself the question, what's possible? We heard that it's possible to imagine ending homelessness. I have the slate of speakers right here with the fancy new branding for my friends at Orange Ball. And I'm really delighted. You know, February is the 5th anniversary of the Good Leadership Breakfast, and I called my favorite boss and one of our favorite speakers, Lynn Casey, who's the CEO of Padilla CRT. I had the most honest relationship with her of anybody I've ever worked for. And when I asked her if she would come, she jumped at the chance. And we're delighted to host her in February. In March, I'm going to introduce you to just wild and crazy energy of a guy named Michael Anschel. Michael is one of the world's foremost authorities on green building, particularly in residential. And some of you might have remembered this story where the city of Minneapolis was battling with this guy who refused to mow his lawn because he planted a very rare kind of grass that wasn't meant to be mowed. It was very green. They made him mow it. It all died. That was Michael. Yeah. Also, Kelly Chapman, African-American pastor at Redeemer Church in North Side of Minneapolis, is doing remarkable things. That day will be special for a couple of reasons. One, because of Kelly. The other, because it'll be the very first and maybe the last Thursday Good Leadership Breakfast. We could not get this room for Friday. Rather than move you around, we decided to move your day. And then finally, a really courageous young leader named Justin Hanratty, who's really taking it on to put a very positive outlook on the whole idea of these millennial leaders and where they're going to take us as we grow. I'm thinking about what's possible for this enterprise. I'm wondering if there's a bestseller about all of this that's in here. I'm wondering if we maybe hadn't ought to broadcast this on the internet so you can see this program everywhere in the globe. I'm wondering if we should be planting new seeds in other markets so this can keep growing. One of the things we've decided to do is to inject a little more fun into what we're doing, as if this wasn't fun enough. And I am going to co-sponsor a charity golf tournament in June. We're going to put together a very cool tradition of the Knicker Open. That's what I meant what I said. Everyone in this golf tournament wears knickers. It's on June 22nd. We'll be contacting you and ask if you want to be a part of it. It's the Good Leadership Knicker Open that benefits the Boys and Girls Club of the Twin Cities. But now it's appropriate for me to ask you, given in the context that each of us is amazingly flawed but also beautifully gifted, what's possible for you? This event grew because you encouraged me. Now I'm encouraging you. You are also talented and young. What can we expect from you? If any great ideas come to you, I hope you'll send them to me. You know how to reach us. And if nothing else, we hope that you're thinking about what might be possible in your business if you sponsor. We're thinking what might be possible in your business if you bring one of your clients to experience this with you. And if you're looking for the next gig, I think there's a whole bunch of people in this room that'll help you. So please, have a robust conversation at your Thanksgiving table. Tell everybody what we talked about. Express the fact that money in the bucket of goodwill goes to do things like ending homelessness. And then bring that energy back with you in February. I can't wait to see you then. Have a wonderful holiday season. Goodbye.